Welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage, and today we're going to be having a look at ADA. Before we jump into the price action, just like I said, thanks for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Okay, so let's get into the fun stuff here. So we're talking about a few things. Still looking for that possibility we could see a break to the upside here. We need to hold some key levels. We're going to go over that again within the video. But we also need to be aware that, we still haven't invalidated that potential we talked about in the previous videos about this diagonal. Looking for that potential, we could actually come down and set new lows here. So we need to just be aware of that. The way we've come down here as well, we just seem to have corrective structure to the upside. We need to be aware that this could mean that we are going to start to see some downside continuation here. So we did move up into this typical area of rejection here as a potential B wave. So we did come up all the way to the 0702 region, and we were talking about that possibility that we could actually reverse from here and look to actually break down. So the thing is, we've come down here and we have managed to hold the support that we talked about in the bullish potential. The thing is, the way that this is developing down here, we need to be careful that this doesn't start to break down deeper, where we look at this potentially as, some additional ones and twos here to the downside, and then actually we start to form a bigger five-wave structure. So we're going to discuss all these things within the video. Okay, so I'm going to go over the bullish count first. Basically, because as long as we hold that support, we do still have that potential. The way I'm currently looking at this move is if we are looking to break out, it would only really make sense if it was starting to play out as some additional ones and twos within here, which we're then looking to actually push to the upside. So we did actually drop down a little bit lower than that zone we were talking about at that 786, but we are getting a bit of a reaction from here. So it is possible that we are within this blue third wave here, which could look to actually push us up towards this 4306. So there are some key things that need to happen in order for us to sort of secure this. First thing we need to do is actually start to get back above some of these high points here towards this 3856. Failing to do so could actually just indicate, that we just have a bigger, that this has just been a corrective structure, and we could actually start to break down where we form this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we actually look to break down deeper. So we need to be cautious of that fact. Even within the current structure here, we do need to be cautious of the fact it does at the moment just have three waves to the upside, and we are coming up into that diagonal trend line where you have holding as support, but which we have lost. So we've already retested this once, had a sell-off. We're coming back and retesting this again. It'll be interesting to see whether we can actually manage to break back above this level and then start to move away, or whether we're actually just going to get another rejection from this point and potentially look to sell off deeper. Okay, so basically what I'm looking for here in the shorter term is we don't really have a lot of structure to work off of here, but basically we would be looking at this potentially as a series of ones and twos here, but at the moment we don't have, could argue that we have a diagonal maybe. We could argue that we've got a diagonal here, but really then what we'd want to not see is a move down past this 3417. So what I'm looking for here is the potential within this move. We could look at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 as a expanding diagonal. They are not the most common, so it is also possible just to read this move as a simple A, B, and a C up and it's completed. So we need to keep an eye on this. Basically, we have pretty much come up to that 1-to-1, which is sitting at this 3608. At the moment, we just have three-wave structure, unless we want to count this as a diagonal like that, or potentially, we could count 1, 2 in here, 1, 2, and then potentially we're starting that bigger move to the upside. But we'd have to move up past this zone here. Of this 3673 to start looking for this to play out. The alternative would be, like I said, potentially we see this come up here as a diagonal, come back down for wave two, retest these areas, and then we look for this bigger five-wave structure to play out to the upside from this high point, which would be actually looking then potentially to target up much higher. The problem is we don't have good structure here. So we'd be looking for something like this to actually develop where we form a five-wave move. looking to actually get up into these zones here towards this 38 region for a typical wave 3. So that would be if we were looking at this as a diagonal up into here for 1, this is a 2, and then looking for that third wave to the upside. So this is going to be a key support zone if we do break down here, this 34.17 to this 34.84. If we do actually look to retrace down in a 3-wave move, I wouldn't want to see this 34.17 area get broken. If we do, then it becomes more likely that actually this is still part of a corrective move here, and we could actually be looking to move down, one more time. And the problem is within this structure, if we're looking at this in this way, really this wants to start to get going here and wants to start to see some good impulsive structure developing up here. Otherwise, we can just count this potentially as a bigger corrective structure here, and we could actually just look to break down from this. We're going to go over that in a second, but really once we start to lose 36 sorry, actually it would be back here. Once we start to lose 32.91, basically that would invalidate this whole idea of having these internal waves building up as a 1 2 1 2 1 2, and then we're going to get a bigger move up here. The idea behind this is be looking for a move that is coming up towards this zone of this 42.91, where we could then start counting this as a 1 2 3 4 and then a 5, something like this. But really it needs to start to move away from here, otherwise the move becomes less and less likely the more we sort of just hang around and form this overlapping structure here. So really we want to start to see these moves playing out. So like I said, in the immediate term, what I want to see is whether we face rejection here, come back down, find support again towards this 34.56 to this 34.17, and then look for push up towards this 1618 at this 38.88 region, and then looking for that potential to actually complete a bigger 5-wave move here, potentially up towards this zone here. Oh, let's just throw this on here for 1 second. There we go. This 39.30 to this 38.73. Obviously, the thing is with this, if we are starting to extend out within this move, basically these target zones are just a guide. This is depending on us actually coming back down here. If we do get further extension and we form another 1 2 here, and then we have a couple of 1s and 2s in here, these targets that I'm looking for here, this 38.38 might be pushed out, and it might actually look for the bigger third wave target towards this 43.06. So that would be looking at this target as a 1 and a 2. So we don't have confirmation of this. We're just keeping an eye on it, for as long as we continue to set these higher highs here, sorry, higher lows here, potentially we can see these things develop. But really, we want to see some nice strong moves with big volume coming in now, to confirm that this is what's actually going on. The alternative thing we were talking about is, the fact that we did get a rejection up into these highs, and we can potentially count this as a 5-wave move to the downside. It's not the neatest move, but it doesn't break any rules counting it like this, and basically we could argue that into this low we have a 5-wave structure. If that's the case, we were looking at this potentially as an A, B, and a C as a flat, but because we've had a rejection off here, we could be forming a bigger corrective structure. So let me just turn that on. So, I was looking for this possibility as well. We did come up to that 1-to-1 here. The thing is, the way that we wouldn't be able to count this as an ABC if we're going to count it like this, and we'd have to change how we're looking at this move here. We wouldn't be able to count this as a 5-wave move either, because of the fact that, if we're counting this as an ABC, the secondary move here does not have a 5-wave structure in it, or at least a clear one. Um, Basically what we'd want to see here then, is we'd have to say that based within this would be a W, an X, and a Y to the upside, where instead of looking at this as a 5-wave move, we'd have to then just argue this is A, B, and C. This would be a connector wave and another A, B, C for this Y wave. In which case, potentially we can then say that this is a corrective wave to the downside here as a B wave, and then we could actually be looking for that bigger move up here. So this is the other way of looking at this, is basically looking at that possibility. So we could technically even have another leg to the upside here, or this could be the first wave of the wave down. So we need to keep an eye on this. If it does start to move to the upside, I would still be looking out, depending on how the structure exactly forms. We need to still be cautious, even if we do get a move up towards this towards this 4260 range. This could still be corrective in nature, though it would have taken this high over here. So it would really start to, if we start doing that, it becomes more likely that we're starting to get that breakout to the upside. Though we wouldn't really have confirmation until we hit those targets that we talked about um, in the last structures we were looking at. Basically, this 4260 would be an interesting zone if we do move up here, potentially looking to form a double top. Though, like I said, within this current structure, if we do get a push up here, it becomes more likely that we're actually starting to extend out, and maybe this is going to become that C wave to the upside, and we'd have to look at exactly how the structure forms at that point. Potentially, we could form some kind of a diagonal in here, um, but at the moment, it is just looking very corrective. So, I want to just see if we can start to get some better structure playing out from this point here. We've got those key lows that we said, we need to hold these zones if we're looking for the breakout here. This 34.14, I wouldn't really want to see. Actually, we wouldn't want to come back down below this 33.66. If we start to lose this 33.66, then basically my eyes are going to be uh, lower down here, and potentially we could actually look for taking out this low at this 29.76 at that point. Though potentially, if we do break down, and this is just rather a corrective shape to the upside, we could still find support above this 31.70 and between this 34.26. That's if we look at this entire move as a potential A wave here. Looking for a B wave down and then looking to push to the upside. But for the moment, this is what I'm currently looking out for. If we do retrace here, whether we hold this 34.17 area and then we look to push up, if we fail to hold that zone, then I would be cautious that this could actually start to break down deeper here, and potentially we have some other structure playing out here where we could actually look to push down deeper here and take out some of these potential bullish structures that we have here. Really, I wouldn't want to start breaking down though, like I said, below that lower range here of this 31.71. Once we start to lose that, basically, it becomes less likely that this is playing out. And then, rather it becomes more likely at that point, obviously dependent on structure, it becomes more likely that we could see this move actually play out as that C wave to the downside within this wrong one, sorry, within this, where we could actually be looking to come back down here and target this 26.39. So we're going to give it a bit of room here. As long as we hold these lows, this low of this 33.70, this low of this 32.89, and these lows here of this 31.67, potentially we can look to extend out here. But yeah, at the moment we just have corrective structure up here, so I'm just being cautious of that fact. This move, technically, it is possible to come up towards this 49.65 or even higher, depending on whether we actually form a third wave here or it's just going to be a C wave. So this is all still viable, but we need to just be cautious for as long as we are remain below this 42.13 area and this 44 cent area. As long as we're below that, we can't get rid of that idea of the expanding diagonal. And yeah, we just need to be aware that this could still continue to look to break to the downside. What we need to be aware of is I've got this marked out as a C wave. It doesn't technically have to be. We could form a corrective move here where we form something like this, a three-wave move down, we form another three-wave move up, we form another three-wave move down, then this becomes an A wave, we get a B wave, and then we get a C wave and still look to push down. So this could look to actually take some time to play out if we are looking to break down here in a corrective manner. But yeah, if we start to challenge this 27 cent range, the potential of this turning around and looking to push up starts to become much less at that point. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave us some feedback down below, and also in the description you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out, it's free to join. As well as that, there are affiliate links for both PrimeXBT and BYBIT down there, both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. If you do have an account, using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Okay, everyone, have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take